Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Door Shutter, coming back to you with a brand new episode of All the Mods Tend to the Sky, and today we're making some hell shelves. I actually want to get a little bit further into Apothic enchanting, or Apotheosis's enchanting system. I actually already made bookshelves, but I've torn them down to actually just make hell shelves. I've made an auto brewing system over here, which is of course multiple brewing stands and filters and stuff like that, so I don't pull out incomplete potions. And I just threw a whole bunch of water bottles, stack of nether wart and a stack of gas tears, and getting some potions of regeneration. Of course, I don't really need all of those potions of regeneration, but we have enough to make at least 11 hell shelves. And the reason I'm going to pull 11, I meant to grab 11, but I accidentally did 12, is because this quest would complete, and this quest. So I actually would get a handful more hell shelves. So I want to put these guys down. Let's see. Yeah, let's just go put these down. Also, just quickly, Geode Encased Bookshelf of Stability. I just made this because I've never seen it before. Actually, it's not really too complicated in this pack specifically because you have block casting. You don't need to go through this method, and you don't need to go through this method, or this method, or this method. So block casting is fantastic. But that provides quantic stability, which just negates a major portion of negative effects that can be applied, like Curse of Binding, Curse of Vanishing, all of that fun stuff. So let's get these guys placed down. So the max is 45. So how many is that? That went down to 46. Oop, did not mean to place one there. No, we're not there yet. Okay, so I think that was it. 52. Okay. And the reason that's odd is because of the Eterna that is added here. You don't know anything about Apotheosis enchanting quickly. There's a lot you can hover over here. So sets the max enchanting level. Quanta increases underlying randomness. Quantic stability lessens the negative effects. Arcana makes it just so you can get rarer enchants and increase the number of enchants on an item. So right now we don't have any Arcana coming in. We have Quanta and we have Eterna, which is good. Let's actually just grab a book, because I'm actually trying to get Mending from this more than anything. I don't really care too much about this, but I don't think we have the level that we need to get to Mending. Because Mending should be around about here. There's Life Mending. Unless Mending is just not in this list. I don't see it anywhere. I don't know. Let's quickly infuse these hell shelves real fast. This will just improve quality. And allow for us to do a higher Perna. Let's just break some of these guys. Replace. Quickly infuse these guys. And that also may complete a quest. Nope, we need 8. So let's just take these guys back out. Complete a quest. Give us some more stuff. So the other thing is I don't have access to like seashells right now fully. I may be able to get like the prismarine shards and stuff, but I don't have access to the stuff that I would want from this, and I also don't have pufferfish. So that's actually a thing. But hell shelves is the one that I have access to. Let's see. So we actually have Eterna, Quanta, Arcana, enchanting clues, the enchantment library, which may not be a bad idea to get, and blazing hell shelf, Quanta, Eterna, enchanting clues -1. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab a handful of these guys. 1, 2, 3. How many is the book asking for me to grab? Because I bet it's in here. 12. So all 12 of them. Okay. Which I guess these are technically better than the infused. So that's cool. Oh, we actually got some dormant deep shelves, which is pretty nifty. Guess we could probably remove these guys as well. And we're actually at the level where we can infuse the dormant deep shelves. And that'll give us a little bit more bang for our buck with Arcana. I guess we don't really need to tear these guys out, right? We could just... Okay. Am I anywhere close to getting Mending? Mending, Mending, Mending. I still see life Mending. The repair, what is it? Or, no, it was Reaper. I thought that I said repair. Okay. Nothing yet. Dang it. So I think what we want to do is now kind of try and figure out how to go about getting these guys. Because now we can infuse them, right? That's the biggest thing. So we need some deep plate, which I think I actually have some downstairs. I might, from the sieving system. Where is that actually at? Right here? I guess I have not actually set up a deep slate one over here, because I've set up a lot of independent drawers and stuff, because we used to be up above and over here on this bottom layer. But now they're over here, so I can just get all of these put into the system. So I haven't done deep slate. I kind of forgot about that one. But I actually do have an aldermodium furnace, so this should not take any time at all to complete, because it is much faster. Also, the armor I'm wearing is actually better than aldermodium. I didn't actually realize that. I remember refined obsidian being very good compared to normal diamond armor, but apparently, according to the basic armor tab here, this is actually higher than aldermodium by 31. So this is 31, this is 24. Of course, it's not better than vibranium, and you know, all these other pieces to the right. But we're actually doing pretty good. So if I could get Mending on this, which is the primary goal right now, this armor is going to be superior. Because I've already enchanted it. You can see all these other enchants. I did not enchant this using the enchanting table. I actually just pulled from the chest over there and found pieces that are superior enchanting, you know, capabilities, unbreaking, protection, projectile protection, like all this other stuff. And that's how I did it. So, pretty nifty, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, let's get... Oop, am I missing something? Oh no, it's cracked deep slate. So I need to make bricks and then... I think it's this? Or did I not even need to smelt this? I may not even have needed to smelt this. Whoops. I thought it was, a different thing, but no, it is this. Okay, my bad. I will grab some more of this off camera. At least we now have some normal deep slate. That'll probably come in handy sooner or later. Let's continue on here. So I'm going to grab some of these normal deep shelves and I'm going to convert these into, I think, like half and half, right? Or do I need to even do that? Well, I see that the Echoing Skulk shelf does the Quanta to 10, but this one does Arcana to 10. So maybe we want to do 2 and 2, like just a set of 2. We don't actually have Warden Tendrils. So this is kind of just a little bit preemptive, but we'll go with it. We'll do Soul Touched. I should have everything for a Soul Touched one here. Okay. We can't do anything further than that right now, at least, right? Because we don't have the Warden Tendril. Okay. But yeah, I don't think this is going to get high enough to allow for us to do Mending. Mending. Because that's all I want. But this will be it for now on Apotheosis. That's as high as we can go without anything. Also, I just picked up this other sword. I guess I already had one, but I picked it up again. I actually kind of want to test something here. This and this. Okay. Even better. We'll take it. And that has now sharpness 6. So that should be pretty good. I actually do want to look at upgrading this sword sooner or later as well. We want to probably do that with a smithing table. So probably this. And then if we go from there, right, we can upgrade to aldermodium. And that is as far as we can go there. So let's actually work on that too here in a minute. So, Mending, right? We want to check and see how we can go about this. So I see that there's an experience rod, enchanter method there. There's mystical agriculture. There's printing, requiring memory essence. Wouldn't even know how in the world we'd go about doing that, but that requires us getting into create. Let's see about this one. Don't we have some dark steel? We do have some dark steel, but not enough. So we can get this. Primitive alloy smelter. How do I go about making the other alloy smelter, actually? I think I could actually do the normal alloy smelter, right? Yeah, I have everything. I have grains of affinity from sieving stuff, so we should be golden. So let's just grab this. Let's go ahead and try and make the steel, the dark steel. Okay, I used as much of it as I had, basically, so I had just enough, really. So, coal. So coal, obsidian, and iron. So coal, obsidian, and iron. And then we also want a capacitor of some kind. Let's try and go for a double layer. Nope, we don't have the alloy. Okay. Basic it is. And let's go upstairs. We're actually going to use the upstairs area for the first time. We're going to put our machines up here. Okay. Get that. Put the capacitor in. And that should supply power. And we're just going to put all of our ingredients in. And that will get us... Oh man, I like this new interface. I don't know if this is the same as like when it first came out. In like 1.19, I think. It definitely looks nice. Not enough power in the machine. Okay, so this thing is not allowing it to pull enough power, maybe? Alright, so let's give this a go. And it does not take enough power. So I'm wondering how we go about solving that. I do have like this basic energy cube. Would this dump enough energy into it? So if I do input, output, it looks like it's supplying a constant enough amount of power to keep it going. Okay. It's a little bit of a weird thing with Flux Networks, I guess, for that, but that's fine. So we should now be able to get the enchanter. So I guess the next question is, how do I get an experience rod? Experience. So Ender IO rod. Oh, that's what I was figuring, is that I was going to need to do this stuff. All right. Gold and soul sand. Gold. Soul sand. I gotta go grab some soul sand from downstairs. All right. We now actually have access to upgrade the capacitor here. I guess I actually need one more thing, right? I need coal dust. Dang it. Thought I had everything. Do I have the ability to hammer down a piece of coal in my inventory? I do have two different hammers. I have this one, I have this one. One of these has got to work, right? None of them work. Fantastic. Well, so I guess the only other option is to quickly try and see if we can steal this one. Flux point. I took the power away from this, by the way, just because I knew we had a different power source. So That's why it's not working. Not because I ran out of power over on the small little generator over here. Okay. We'll let that get us some coal dust here real fast. And while that's happening, I'm going to take some netherite scrap that I've been producing. Fantastic. Man, those flux networks are having some issues, aren't they? The other problem is they are always pulling directly from the generators. What I need to actually do is I need to grab like one of these things. Let's actually quickly do that while we're waiting. Because this would actually allow for us to have power in the network instead of just always requiring it. Let's set this... Yeah, let's just set it over here. We'll set it, like, behind this or something. Oop, I am filling it with blood. My bad. Forgot that was still a bug. Okay. That'll actually allow for us to have some supply of energy in the system so we don't have as many issues. So we'll go with that. Okay. And that is coal dust, which means that we should now be able to make a basic double layer capacitor. Of course, we'd want to get the octadic sooner or later, but that does require a little bit more progression. So I am going to keep on making alloys. Also, I did forget to mention energetic alloy, another alloy. Look it up in JEI. It's fantastic. And let's get that put back in. And this, of course, does speed this up and consume more power. But overall, that should be fantastic. So I'll be back. All right. So we now have access to mending. We, of course, need to make an experience rod for every time we want to do this, because each one of these is a consumable at this point. So let's make up 3 more of these guys, because we're just going to get this for our armor. And that is fantastic. So at least we have a way to get mending reliably. Of course, also, this thing can be used for every enchant in the game. I don't believe it does apotheosis enchants. Like, it won't do, like, up to, like, level 6 or anything. But it's still pretty nifty. So it will be used frequently throughout this playthrough. So, man, I miss Ender IO. I really missed it. It is such a fantastic thing to have back. All right, so mending. Is it actually going to be able to be applied? Mending. I'm checking through the list of enchants before I actually click on this, by the way. Mending. And also, you'll notice that this armor has, like, protection, projectile protection. I'm not sure. I guess they've disabled, like, the conflict between enchants, so you can have basically anything on this armor, which is kind of nice. But, yeah, that is mending. So I can come over here. We can watch this as I hit this. Look at that armor and repair. Fantastic. I kind of was worried my armor was going to break. But I actually did kind of repair it whenever I enchanted all of it. So now, we actually could go through, and we could get all the other types of protection that are available in here, of course. So, like, the protection 4 here. We would just need 64 dark steel to get a protection book. So I could theoretically make this armor better, which I actually might go through and make sure I just have at least probably fire protection. I don't know. It doesn't look like I have fire protection on anything. Actually, I do have fire protection here. I don't know. So that'll be something I'll do between this episode and next. I won't let you guys suffer through that. But yeah, definitely some good stuff. What does fire protection even take here? 64 magma creams? Oh, that's no problem. All right. Beautiful. I am excited for that. So I guess the other thing, since we're kind of getting ready for something, right? We are getting ready for actually going towards the Nether and the end dimension. I guess I want to actually focus on getting some kind of flight. And of course, we do have access to iron jetpacks. Let's actually just look up iron jetpacks so we don't miss anything. So this mod is actually really decent. It's been around for quite a while, but I think this will be what we use at the end of the day. And isn't there a all the modium backpack or jetpack? It doesn't look like it. Not in this version. There's an all the modium spellbook. That is actually really cool. I did not know that. All right. So iron jetpack. Let's just see what we need. So we want to get at least, I mean, the highest tier we can get is emerald. So I think I want to shoot for that. Platinum. Tier 5, tier 4. Okay. So let's go with the first one, which is wood. So we're going to need some basic cells. So we need 2 wooden thrusters. So 1, 2. Wooden capacitor. This sounds super safe, doesn't it? And then we just go from there. We can upgrade this to the next tier. Like, we'll need some more basic coils. 6 of these guys. There we go. And I'm just going to run through all of this to get this to the highest tier. And then, of course, we'll make sure that our controller is set to armor slots. Actually, it should just be curios, right? This can be put on my back, right? So the backpack may need to be moved. This is actually a charm, ain't it? So this can go here. This can go here. And that can go there. So yeah, we should be good. Okay. I'll be back whenever I get this done. All right. So we have the ability fly now. Of course, this is going to take a minute because I haven't used a jetpack in a hot minute. But we are going to go into the Nether here. And we're going to light this bad boy. Which, honestly, I'm kind of surprised I haven't built a Nether portal sooner. But I know the Nether is not what we remember, right? It is the void. I do believe structures still spawn in here, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of the reason why I wanted to come over here is take a flight and just see what we can find. And of course, we'll increase the speed, which it looks like, of course, there's a conflict with the keybind for the throttle. It is the period key. So let's do key, period, and we want to change this out to something else. What else do we have? Chunk boundaries, numlock. I don't really want to have numlock be a thing. So let's do shift period. That may work. Okay. So then now I can increase throttle. Lots of conflicts, but that's fine. Lots of keybinds. So I'm going to just fly around and see if I can find anything. I think there's stuff in this dimension, right? Like there should be. The 10 obsidian, blah, 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 blah. You can build out blocks to find Nether Fortress or even just platforms for the mobs to spawn. And dreadful dirt works in the Nether, by the way. Okay. So yes, Nether Fortresses do spawn, so I will find one, and I'll be back. Right as I say that, I actually see one on the map here. We just got to figure out where it's actually at. There it is. Ooh, and we've got our first Apothec Invader. Fantastic. Yes, we want to come around, and we want to... Okay, I'm going to have to slow down here. Trying to slow down, but I'm getting shot by everything. And that is not my sword. Alright, let's take this. Let's then eat. And let's take out these guys. Okay, magnet is on. Let's just kind of explore here a little bit. And yes, I went ahead and I got the Aldemodium smithing template, by the way. It's not that expensive. We have Aldemodium, we have Netherite. So I just went ahead and crafted that. Got our axe, got our pickaxe and sword up there. So that is beautiful. We are doing pretty well with tools and stuff now. It's just kind of, we got to make sure that we upgrade whenever we do the next thing, which is the end, right? We want to make sure that we are prepared for everything. Probably getting a bow, probably getting some Apothec enchants and stuff. Especially because now we have access to... is it this? Slop. Okay, so we need to slay the Apothec Invader. Where is that guy? Shouldn't be too hard to find him, I would think. But maybe he jumped off the cliff. Okay, I am way too slow now. Hold on. Die. Goodness, I can't hit him. Look how many mobs are spawning here, though. This is insane. Gonna quickly, like, light up the area so I can see a little bit. But we should be able to get a decent amount of wither skeleton skulls here doing this, or at least fragments. This thing does have looting 5 on it, so... Oop, I got a skull. Okay. Well, yeah, I think that Apothic Invader died. So I might... I'm gonna turn this off for a second. Nope, it did not turn it off. Is there another overlay? Light overlay. There is 2 light overlays from Nullium and more overlays. So which one do I have enabled? Can I do like Shift F7? There we go. Ha, perfect. So many of them were enabled. Come on. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I am actually just going to be over here for a little bit, waiting for maybe another Apothic Invader to spawn, or waiting for us to get at least 3 Wither Skeleton Skulls, which we're almost there. And I'll be back. Alright, another Apothic Invader has spawned here. I'm gonna wait for him to either take care of these guys, or... Fantastic. We have taken out that, which means now we can actually ascend and activate to the ascent here, which should give us a little bit more buffs and stuff, which is awesome. More loot, more odds and ends. I'm excited. Okay. I think I want to /home. Do I actually have /home set even? I do not. So what we'll do is we are just going to go to Home Island. That is going to be the quickest way. So we already got the skeleton skulls. We did, of course, get that done. Man, we actually got quite a bit of goodies over here. But my armor did not do really much for me in the way of protection. I was getting destroyed. All right, so let's... Actually, that's got projectile protection on it. Man, I really wish I had a enchantment separator. But for right now, we are just going to send it. We don't really need it. So I guess the next thing... Turn off my magnet so I stop picking stuff up here. Gonna like dump some of this in here. There's a diamond chest plate. So yeah, we should start seeing crazier drops as well in this from doing this, but that is a side effect. We'll have more rare. Let's see, what was the last tier? So 10% rare, and that is now 50%. And of course, this whole stuff and this. Monster augments 8+ and 5+ armor pierce. So what do I need to do for the next one? So I need to equip a rare pair of leggings and slay a wither. So let's disable this, is what I'm hearing, because I want to basically be able to get a pair of rare leggings. Okay. That's what I'm looking for right there. All right. Actually, I'll put this over here. Got this backpack. Perfect. All right. I will be back here in a minute. All right. So we are going to make a wither kill box here, which I've kind of got this set up, which is a 7x7, I do believe. I may have the distance wrong here, because you want to have 1 block on front and back. Of course, 1 block on the side, 1 block here. And then you just have a little box. I definitely have the measurements wrong on the outside here. It should be a 7x7. I just cannot get it right sometimes. So that to there. Or is it a 6x6? Might be a 6x6. Okay. Oop. I do not want it to continue off here. I just made the path out of this glass because it's indestructible. So I don't get blown up, you know, and fall into the void or something on accident. So, alright, 6x6 it is. So from here to here, from here to here, a 6x6, and then across 12. Perfect. We will go with those measurements. We're just double walling it, so... Alright, there we go. And then, of course, we want to make sure we double wall this portion, too. It's a little hard to see, but that's fine. There's our entry point. Alright. And that is our Wither kill box. And just for added security, we already have this in claimed chunks, so there should be no mob destruction. So let's go grab the items we need. So we need to go grab soul sand from downstairs. And, of course, the skulls. Perfect. Alright. Let's get this built up here. Fantastic. Let's quickly get Wither. So set anchor, Wither. We've just completely muted the Wither because, man, his stuff is annoying. And we're just going to stand here and thwack on him until he's dead. And also, I have golden apples just in case something goes absolutely wrong. So, I thought this through. Even with the kill box, you could still die to withering, so I didn't want to risk it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. But the other thing is, of course, we actually do have cows. We can come over here. There we go. Beautiful. And that is our first wither kill, which actually gave us a miniature yellow heart canister. I actually kind of forgot about. I could be making heart canisters. Bobblies heart canisters, right? We could actually start looking at that. We now have access to the Nether, and we can fly around and kill wither skeletons. So that means we could actually get enough of this to start getting yellow heart canisters and stuff, which is fantastic. Good stuff indeed. All right, let's throw some stuff away here. So our first Nether star. And what I actually want to do with this is get a booster, which I'm hoping we have enough power for this because I really want this, just because it'll make our life a lot easier with moving around our base without having to, you know, worry about where we are in range to our system. 100 FE a tick. I hope that is okay. Are we doing badly? Buffer, energy, output. I think we're doing okay. We'll go actually physically check the power over here. Yeah, I think we're doing good. I keep accidentally stepping into that corner. All right. That is beautiful. I think that is a ton of progress done today. We are geared up. We actually can make the end cake thing. So we already can make this, and that will be in the next episode. So I'm going to work on getting a bow. I don't know if I'll worry about apotheosis enchants. I may worry about the bobbly heart canisters, which of course are not complicated in the slightest. Ooh, there's a bow now? Ooh, that is speaking my language right now. I wish I could get to it. I don't have access to it because you do need the purple. Actually, you need all of them. So if I had enough red, which I don't think I do. No, I definitely don't. I would totally go for that. But the green will come from the Ender Dragon. The blue is the Warden, I think. I don't know. I mean, it may be changed, of course. So that might be something we'll have to look at. But I will get some Wither Bones. I'm going to go fly around the Nether and just get that taken care of. And whenever we are ready, we will be ready for the end. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.